Hey, what's up, guys? This is T-Bone here, and welcome back to stream number 27. Now, I actually wasn't planning on streaming today after I had already done one earlier today, but we were able to get to level 60, and so what I'm going to do is a very focused playthrough of just chapter 16. Now, I decided to do a stream. I was going to do a video, but I decided to stream it just because in case anybody might want to join me and have a conversation. But this is going to be purely on chapter 16. This is where you can claim the hero if you complete chapter 18, and that's going to be Mephala. And along the way, you can also obtain some diamonds, which is really nice. So let's go and play through. Now, generally, it's better for you to play through the chapters with the event hero, the story hero. But we're gonna see how this actually works out, because this basically is focused on all about defenders, right? So let's say you get to this point, you probably already have heroes that are stronger, but what we're going to do is we're going to go and try this out anyway. And so we're going to have two defenders that are going to be protected here, but what we need to do is we need to provide more of a damage, like a DPS support. Now, this is a pretty strong team at 57. We're dealing with dwarves and also with Pegasus and Wood Elf. So I'm not really sure how I feel about this hero, because it protects shield and it protects, more shield, basically just gives them more protection. I don't really like Mephala as much from having gone through the Duel of Heroes here, but we're gonna try this out. We're gonna play with Mephala to see if it actually makes it easier. Okay. If not, then we're gonna go and use another hero, which I think is just much stronger, that we can focus on. So right now, what we got is immunity, right? And I have other spells that's going to be helpful. So I got this from Titan's Thunder. That is the orange. That is an orange artifact. And I also got that from the shop. So it actually deals quite a bit of damage, and then if you also if you max out your air mastery, then you'll be able to get more damage out of there. All right, so I was able to get through this, but I don't think that was because of my hero, to be honest with you. But what we'll do is we'll take a look at where it might make sense for us to be using the hero, because I don't know that this is actually going to be as effective. But anyway, let's just take a look here. So we got a centaur here that's talking about an elf in a wood elf, right, up in the northeast. Will do. So let's go into chapter 16 1-2 or 16-2. And so let's take a look here. So again, right, we're up against the same team here, and we got Tree Ants and also Dendroid Guard. It's just that I feel like I was able to get through not because of the hero, but because of my team makeup, right? So because if I were to put 4 units up here, the problem is going to be the time it's going to take the enemies out. Giving them immunity is good, but you really need attackers. You need damage. You need burst damage to take down other enemies. So let's take a look again, right? So what we've got here is we've got immunity, so that way we can stay alive, and then we can also give them reduced shield. But you can see here, right? We're basically up against wood elves in the back here, and I could actually use my spells to take them out. And I could use Solmir to have this similar effect. And we're up against, we don't have a hero right now that's giving it more frenzy or anything like that. And so we don't really have much of an issue. I would expect probably later on we might hit some issues where the enemies in the back really deal a lot of damage up front. And so that's where the immunity might really come in handy, because remember, to get 3 stars, you really need to make sure that you are keeping all of your units alive. You need to keep at least, you can only lose up to 2 units, and then on the 3rd one, you lose a star. So let's do 13-3, and let's see what team we have. So we have a very similar setup here, and you know, we could even change this up a little bit. We could even change this so that we are using chargers here, right? So if we were to push through right here with chargers, we could actually probably do this, right? So instead of demons, we can use attackers, and then we can charge into the back lane, and then we can basically take out the Pegasus and also the Wood Elves without having to use our spells. And so in this case, this is where I'm going to want to actually protect my goblins and also my Pit Fiend with the immunity, right? So this is where I'm going to provide the immunity. So you can see my goblins deal a lot of damage, but they are also kind of they can also die easily, right? So here is the immunity, and so now that we're gone through, let's go ahead and, you know, charge back with our charger. So this is sort of another way of thinking what we can play, and then we can basically really sort of distract them from attacking the main line. But it doesn't look like my vampires are dealing as much damage, but we're still fine, right? So that's another way to play as well. If you want to use, if you don't have as good backline, you can also use chargers. I like using more than one. Like, you know, you can also use 2 chargers to do this. So Phoenix, welcome to the stream here. This is going to be, if you missed it, a very focused stream on just chapter 16. I'm going to talk about using the hero, right, Mephala, and also like whether or not to use others. But right now I'm just sticking with using Mephala, and we're going to try different team setup just to see if we can get any, you know, make sure that we can 3-star the levels. That's really the goal here. And so now we've got chargers. Okay, so this is where now we must use defenders, and I'm probably not, you know, like I could do this. I could have the chargers go in the back, really, because if they're gonna have open lanes like this, I could also have an open lane right. I could also sort of charge right through the open lane this way, right? So here's what we can do, and now what I'm gonna do is I'm going to defend and attack here. And I'm going to have my I'm going to have a set of chargers. And I think what I'll do is, I don't have my 4th charger really. I guess I do, right? What I could do is I could actually just kind of do full chargers as well, and then have them take the back line, and then I will have my defenders and attackers here. Now the problem with Mephala's skill is she's still at 2-star. You're not going to be able to use her ultimate skill on both of these. So you're going to have to pick and choose where your units are going to be dying, and then sort of decide where to then use the ultimate. So let's try this out. So let's see what we can do here. I want to see if my units are going to stay alive long enough. And it looks like where they might have problems, I'm going to actually protect these guys right here. And then I will also give them a little bit of increased shield, right? And during this time, like, I have shielded units, so they have no problems against the chargers, right? So once you have defenders up against chargers, you're most likely set. And so having the chargers freed up into the middle really helps out there. And so Phoenix, you've been struggling on Duel of Champions. The opponents are usually 100,000 more attack power. So yes, as you go up in the Duel of Champions, depending on where you are, I'm currently at Kings right now. One more before I get to Legend. And usually that's where the players are going to be a lot stronger, because you're going to be using your own units. So it depends on the level of unit that you have. You're going to have to level up a little bit as well. All right, so here we are using a story hero. And let's see, some of the elven nobles sought help from the necromancer Vidomina of Deja. They betrayed their country just for the meager rewards the necromancer offered them. Shame on them, didn't those nobles have any sense? Greedy people are like weeds, they steal water and light from living trees and cause the trees to gradually wither away. These people are the weeds of Avali. They must be eliminated. Alright, so we know what this is about. And here's Vidomina. And we've got 2 chargers in the bottom lane, and I think here we're gonna want to we're gonna definitely want to have defenders here, but here is where we could still go with chargers. And the reason why I say that is because I expect to be able to open up this lane right here, right? And when you have when you have Cavalier at purple, then his skill will actually stun. So what they're going to do is they're going to stun, and they will also attack units. They basically deal more attack to the next unit as well. So he's a very good front sort of leader in this case. Like if you're going to have chargers, have him up front first. And then we're going to be dealing with Dendroid Guard and a couple of liches. So you want to survive, right? So surviving is actually going to be key. And in that case, you can also bring in a monk here. You can really boost the morale of this whole team here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to support them here with a... Let's try a rock. So this is rock. I actually really like rock. I'm trying to get him to orange. At orange, you'll also be able to decrease the hostile units hits. So basically, they will deal less damage overall. Let's give this team a try and see how we do. Again, so what we've got to work with is really just defense. We can defend and we could provide more shield, but then we are hoping for additional damage output from the rest of our units. And I'm trying various different setup here just so that people who are, if you're watching, you can try a little bit different strategy as opposed to just, seeing me using the exact same team over and over again, right? So now the thing with Dendroid Guard is that they will actually basically they'll trap your units. And so that's something to keep in mind. Like your chargers will actually get stuck because of the vines. And so let's see, any units are in danger right now, so nothing is in danger, so that's good. And what's really nice is once you get your chargers in the back line, they'll be able to take out the guys in the back here. So that really sort of helps, save a lot of time, because usually time is always the issue. If you take too long to try and clear through the front line, then you're not going to have time to go through the back. And so this is our first 5 levels through, and we get 50 diamonds as well. Let's take a look at the free market here so you can get some items here, but I generally don't spend the gems on it because I think that those are things that you can earn. And we're going to go back to the side quest afterwards. The goal here is to have 3-starring everything and making sure that we clear out all of the side quests as well. And so we use rock here. Another thing that we could do is also use Firebird. I think a lot of people also have Firebird. That's a question they have, like, how to use the Firebird. Really, Firebird and those big units are best if you have more units in the same lane. In this case, they're kind of spread out. And let's see. So I kind of don't want to get in the same lane as these whites though, because whites will silence. So in this case, you want to make sure that you don't be in the same lane, because this way you don't get silenced. And so chargers are okay if I can guarantee that I can push through. If I don't push through, another good unit to have would be this. So I can have all of my... And what you want to do is, if you want to have your marksman in the same lane as monk, make sure the monk is in front, because the marksman will deal more damage when he's in the back. So we can also do this, right? So what we can do is we get the Firebird sort of burning down the lane here. Now we're up against a 600,000 power team. Might be a little bit challenging, and if that's the case, then what we're going to do is we're going to quit out, so that we can save ourselves basically 5 stamina. One tip that I can give you guys is, if you don't think you're going to finish in 3 stars, then you should just quit out and lose 1 energy instead of winning it for 6 energy and 6 stamina. So you're gonna lose 5 additional stamina this way. I'm running short on stamina, so I'm trying to preserve it as much as possible. So I think that it's okay for me to come back and try again. And so here it is. Like, I don't know that I'm actually going to be able to... I have 20 seconds. Let's see. So I'm hoping that my vampires will take down the bottom lane, and we should be okay. Plus my Titan of Thunder. So 207, we're sort of getting into that... we're sort of getting to that danger zone of not finishing the level within 1 minute. So we're going to have to really pay attention here. What's going on here? We got a Starving Walking Dead, and they're basically going to be fighting the Wood Elves, and it looks like we're going to save them, and then we're going to be able to get get access to this. So we will do that afterwards. Anything else here? All right, so let's go ahead and take on 16-7. Let's take a look here. And so I don't think this is the best setup, honestly, because I really need to push through here. So I'm not going to use Monk. I don't think I need the heal. What I need is damage. All right, so I'm going to actually have this setup right here. So my preference is to push through the middle. Judge of all, welcome to the stream here. So today I'm going to be playing just chapter 16. The goal is to 3-star everything and to also get all the side quests. Again, splitting up is an option, right? You can also split up if you have a set of really good attackers here, because then you can just basically push your way through. But with Mephala and her skill for immunity, I feel like it's probably a little bit better for them to be all clumped, and then you can protect 2 lanes as opposed to having to worry about protecting 4 lanes. So right now what we're going to do is we're going to protect all of these guys, and since I can't actually deal any damage to the backline, I'm going to use my skills as much as I can. I'm going to try and get rid of the liches. Not that they're really an issue, because I don't expect my guys to die, but the problem here really is any of your units that die are going to become fodder for the liches, because then they basically will create a bunch of skeletons, and they can then, you know, be more challenging to deal with. But so far we're doing okay. And I guess it really helps that I've also leveled up most of my units to purple +3. I'd imagine by the time you get to chapter 16, you should have no issues with your units at least purple +2. You should also focus on getting as many purple +3s as possible. So let's see. So we will accept these guys. Okay, 50,000 coins for 5 Pegasus. That's not bad. And we'll get a pile of supplies as well. And now let's go to 16-8. So we're a little over half. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take a quick look here. We got the green dragon up here and a bunch of liches. All right, so this is going to start becoming a little bit of an issue. And at this point, what I would recommend is actually putting in, you know, Solmir. Solmir is actually a hero that's available right now for gems. So you can actually use gems to get Solmir right now. So like if you haven't yet, highly recommend that you purchase Solmir using gems. It's going to be a really good use of the gems, I think, because his skills are super powerful, super useful, especially if you have Storm Elemental. And it's going to help you through a lot of situations. It's almost kind of like Luna when she first came out in that level of overpoweredness. But so, you know, take advantage of it right now while you can. His skill also really powers up the, you know, any cards that have dodge. So Demon really gets benefit from it. Falcom X, good morning. Welcome to the stream here. And Mount Fillmore, pro tip, use Solmir to skip Mephala. So my goal here was to showcase Mephala in the storyline, right? But ultimately, it's a lot better to use Solmir right now. And I do believe that too, because we're going to get to the point where now it's about timing. And so in order to get 3 stars, we need to really focus on the DPS. And right now, Solmir's DPS is really great. All right, and so this is what I'm gonna do, right? So I'm gonna play here instead, and I'm going to use chargers here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to use chargers here. I think I can make this go a little bit faster, because seeing the team I have below, I feel like this is actually a good candidate for me to use this play. All right, so let's go ahead and play this. So the way you use Solmir, right? If you place a wind wall in front of your units as they go through, they're going to attack faster too. So it basically gives them more like a frenzy attack. And so here, we're going to just go ahead and punch through the bottom lane. And then we're going to focus on the front while the rest of my guys take care of those skeletons in the back line. Right? And then we're going to focus here, and then eventually we're going to easily get to the back as well. And so we should be able to get through without losing any units. And we're going to use air arrow, and we're going to be able to finish this in less than 40 seconds. So over you see in order to actually get them. All right, Mephala, we have concrete evidence that proves the lord of the city has betrayed his people and joined the forces of evil. He pledged loyalty to the king of Avali, but secretly allowed the necromancer to slaughter innocent I should have clicked. I shouldn't have clicked there. Innocence, right? So Mephala, you must protect the people of Avali. They won't forget your sacrifice. These Avali scum will break up the first charge of my troops. I'll bring them down with a single blow. All right, still 2-star. I think what happens is she'll get stronger. 3 stars in chapter 17 and 4 stars at chapter 18. Okay, so we've got Vidomina. So these skeletons. So this is actually the perfect time to be sort of charging through, right? Let's do it this way. So my expectation is that we'll go through here, I will protect them, and then we're going to have the chargers go and take out the back line. Let's do this. So in siege levels, I think you can only use the story hero. And so the things that we have to watch out for are Vidomina's skill to bring out skeletons in your backline. But I think with Gok and my Storm Elemental, we should be okay. Right, so we're going to give immunity so we can take out the Black Knight right away. That's the first thing. And now we want to make sure that we take out the guys in the front. And any dangers to my guys in the bottom lane also have to watch out for that. And now they're going to charge through and we should be okay. But I'm just going to give them immunity anyway. So like the nice thing about, you know, Mephala is the immunity, but aside from that, if you don't have anything else to depend on, you're really gonna have to depend on DPS. Like you can't just have immunity if you can't take out the enemy. And that was the issue I faced when I went up in Duel of Heroes. Whenever I used her, I found that when I used her, not whenever, just the one time I used her, I really had a hard time. All right, and so again, we have chargers here, and that's perfect because we can just kind of go through these skeleton archers. I think this is going to be... I mean, another thing I could use is I could use Crag and basically boost all of their damage, but honestly, Solmir is just that much easier. So I'm going to focus on just kind of going through. And, you know, formation is still important. Really, you could still use different heroes here. But like another skill that, you know, Crag has that is also pretty strong, I would say, is his Quicksand. So Quicksand actually does deal damage. So if you are up against an enemy that has really high health, you'll actually deal more damage to them over time. And so that is something you can use as well, especially if they're clumped together. So if you have like a group of, let's say a group of Behemoth and maybe Dendrogar, like clumped together, using the Quicksand can actually deal more damage to them than regular spells. So let's see, you get 3 or 4 shards for each 10 summons, combine the ones with Cheshire Lock before. Yeah, so I've got so far 43 just from, you know, combining everything from the chest and also the ones I pulled. I was really hoping that I could just get a Naga outright, but I'm gonna have to wait for the next time because today is the last day for Naga. That is unfortunate. Okay, so now we've got a bunch of attackers. So we got 2 Bone Dragons. All right. 2 Bone Dragons. It's not going to be... So Bone Dragon will lower morale, right? Reduce the defense of all the enemies on the battlefield and can break the line of defense effectively. All right, so this is interesting. So my thought process is I'm probably going to stick with this. I want to go in the back line. Demon with Pit Fiend should be okay. Right, we should be able to do this. And let's see, I think I can actually boost all 3 as well. So my focus here is I want to see if my guys up top are in any trouble. And this is where I can use, you know, Chain Lightning. Chain Lightning also works really well with big units. Alright, so we're going to be able to walk through these guys here, so that should be fine. That actually worked out a lot better. So we were able to do this in 31 seconds. So that's actually better than I thought we would. I thought we might actually have a little bit hard time. But honestly, right now, since my units are really powered up, I think we should be good. So we got 37 energy remaining. We should be good. And let's see, another set of Bone Dragons. let's do this, right? Actually, one thing that I was thinking about is let's just try this because I do have 4 chargers. And what we could do is we could change this up a little bit. Right, so we can change this up a little bit here. Chargers can also deal. I can also put in Pikeman in here, but he's just at 2-star, blue +2, because we were up against single units. So I think this is probably gonna have to be like this, because I don't want these defenders. Oh, actually, it's just that one defender. I think we're okay. Let's go with this. So Phoenix, as I was saying, those events will come back, and so I think you should be fine. If you can probably wait. Like that's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna wait for the event to come back, and then I'll get Naga at that point. Right. So let's see. Okay. So we just need to check out those skeletons. That should be fine. And then my vampire did life drain, so it would survive. I think this would have been a lot tougher if I didn't use Soulmere, to be honest with you, because I was able to take out those Bone Dragons really easily. That probably wasn't the greatest setup. I was just trying something a little different, but normally I don't think using those chargers when there's a chance of the defenders blocking up top, I don't think that would have been a great play. So Lich conceals him from sight, so I need to take out the Lich before I can take him. Alright, 16, 14, 2 more levels before we are going to be finishing up the chapter. Now let's take a look here, right? So we've got Bone Dragon here. No, actually I don't want... I think this is going to be the better setup. And I'll use Gawk here. So the idea here is if we can get through the Bone Dragon, then we should be able to get through the back line. Like, I'm actually really liking the charger strategy right now. And let's give this a try. So the only time that you don't want to place your chargers is when you're in, you know, a lane that has a defender and you don't have any other support to back it up. If you can, though, if you have like a load of units that you think you're going to be able to punch through the front, then definitely go... Did I kill the Bone Dragon right? Yeah, I did. Alright, so now let's go ahead and take out these little skeleton archers, because my chargers are going to be able to go through them pretty quickly. Right, and so let's just help out a little bit with our spell. So that's the time you don't want to, but if you have like a really stacked lane with a lot of attack, then putting the charger there will ensure that you get through that lane faster. Then you'll be able to attack the back line, which I think is is a really sort of important aspect to playing your formations. All right, now let's go for our final level. Most of the lords in this area were once bandits. They would do anything for money. Money can do many things in this world, but a just heart is a noble thing that money can't buy. This traitor and his men must be eliminated. We have to unite Avli and drive them out of this forest. All right, so we've got 4 chargers to deal with. And if I did simply this to block him, if I did this, would that be okay? Because I just don't want the vampires to go to my back line. Although I don't really have a back line, right? If I do that. If I don't have a back line to worry about, actually, something else I'm thinking about is The main thing about backline is that they're going to go to the back and attack, but I think that I'm going to be able to handle them this way. Instead, I'm just going to push all the way through and attack this way as well. You put heavy defense. For the Black Knight, I think I'm more worried about the Black Knight, and I did consider putting a defense down here, but I'm thinking that right now what I can do is I can put all of them in the same lane and I can protect them all. I can give immunity for all of them and I could use spells to try and take them down a little bit. So this way all of my units are clumped together and I could benefit from the spell from the fallout. Like that's how that's what I'm trying, and that worked out well, because if I had split them across 4 different lanes, then I think that that would be a little bit tougher. But you can see they're like, I put them all together, they all were in one spot, and my immunity spell actually worked on all of them. Yeah, so that worked out really well. Didn't have any problems. So now we finish our story, we get 500 gems, and we could now go back to getting 3-star for everything. We can also claim more gems here. Unfortunately, I used up all my gems. I don't think I'm going to be able to collect 2,500 gems playing through this. But let's just go ahead and make sure that we get all of these. So we need to battle all of these skeletons. And let's just go through these quickly, because I think these should be fine. And in this situation, better to just kind of go in the middle lane. So let's go through all of these guys. The only one that might give us a problem is going to be Lich. I think these side quests with, skeletons shouldn't be too bad. And so what we're going to do is we're going to look for the hidden chests as well. And we're also going to take a look to see where we need to, if there's anyone else that we need to talk to, and any other tricks. Okay. But that's basically 3 stars for all of the chapter levels so far. Looking forward to unlocking chapter 16, because that allows me to farm for items that can now get my units to orange. I need to be at level 62. In some cases 63 to be able to fully orange, upgrade my units to orange. So I'm looking forward to that. Alright, Starving Walking Dead is right here, so let's go ahead and tackle you. Look at all that defense. Look at all that defense. So Charger's not going to be the way to go. Attacker's really the best here. But Attacker really is going to be the best, isn't it? What would I... Attackers... But, I feel like he isn't going to benefit anything from here. I'll stick with this lineup and I just kind of go through them. You went all range for that one? Let's see. This might prove to be a little bit harder with this, because... Okay, so let's see how much damage I can deal along with this. If we can take out the top lane, then we have a chance to deal more damage to the bottom lane. So I think we have enough DPS right now to make this work. We should be okay. 17 seconds, yeah. So I have a lot of DPS with all of my units, and that's the reason why it worked out. And plus I have like really strong spells. But I think with range, then you could probably use Gelu, right? So you could probably use Gelu for attack for ranged. Like if you don't have Soul Mirror, then you're gonna have to use other options. And I think, thank you for help, but pray, excuse me, please tell me why you're here. What do you want from us? Okay, so it's in the grass at the bottom of the hill. Grass at the bottom of the hill. So I think that's probably where the chest is. Let's take a look. Hidden chest. Hidden chest. Grass? It's in the grass at the bottom of the hill. So where's the hill? Let's take a look here. And there's also a green dragon that we're gonna have to deal with later. Okay, let me see. I am looking for a chest that is at the bottom of the hill. Am I missing something? Okay, we will come. I'm looking for bushes, anything that resembles grass or something. I'm also looking for a hill. Oh, there it is. So you see, like right next to the elf, do you see that little pine tree and the little shrub? Here is the chest right here. That's the elven treasure. Let's see what we get from it. 100 gems. That's pretty good. And I need to now defeat the Lich, right? So that's good. So we got the hidden treasure. Now let's go to Lich. All right. What do we got? What do we have here? We have 4 skeletons and a Lich. I think we should be fine. There's a comment saying that there are 2 chests on this map. If there is, then we will try to find it. How much damage can I deal to the Lich? Okay, not a lot. Alright, so let's focus on taking out the skeletons then. Because if we can take out the skeletons, then the Lich won't be able to do anything.
Let lightning destroy.
Because nothing can kill the... Oh, we actually lost a unit there. Good thing I have my angel to revive. Okay, so we defeated the Lich. And look at that. MVP is Marksman. And then Afridi and Gog. Turns out that my back line actually dealt the most damage. And we get a gold key by taking out the Lich. So that's good. And let's see here. So now we can go to Magic Shrine. Battle the vampire to get the shrine. Probably a bunch of vampires. Yep. So vampires here, here. I think what I'll do is I'll just kind of split up this way and not worry about the defenders in the middle because they're just going to come down. And this is kind of nice because I'm not in the same lane as whites, so they can't actually silence my casters and my ranged units. Okay, so let's take out the top one. Like, see, like if I were in the same lane as the whites, then all of these guys would not be able to cast their spells. Right, so let's take out the bottom one now. Ooh, this vampire down here is actually pretty strong, huh? So let's make sure that we give him a little bit more dodge. And then we can take out the whites afterwards. And see, as soon as they all got into the same lane, they all got silenced. So generally, when you see whites, stay away from them if you're using casters or if you're using casters, really. Now I selected this because I need a lot of the scrolls to max out my heroes mastery. Now that we've defeated them, we have Surviving Archer and Corrupted Green Dragon. A beautiful grand elf who suffered the loss of her friends in the undead invasion after the war. The sole surviving male grand elf took her away from the place of her loss, but she couldn't forget the terror she had seen. After a while, her broken mind became bloodthirsty. I guess we're taking her out because she's a bad elf now. Alright, so all wood elf. And should be okay. Because I don't think we're dealing with any frenzies, right? So what we'll do is we'll just kind of spread out our spells everywhere. And the thing is, elves actually can cast a spell to protect them from damage. So that's actually something that's really useful if you're using wood elves. Her skill can actually protect you, just like with Pegasus. Pegasus also produces a... I guess she's not wood elf, she's a sharpshooter. Pegasus also gives protection to your units. Alright, so now we can actually... Oh, okay, so this gives us 5 tokens of Gelu. And sorry, sharpshooter, we had to take her out. Alright, so we've completed this. Now it's just the green dragon left. Let's go ahead and take a look at the corrupted green dragon. Alright, so we've got the Bone Dragon, which is 244,000, and then the Green Dragon, which is the same. So I don't want to be in the same lane as him, actually. I want to stay away from you because of the poison. I stole him from Gil's harem. You know, this has... I think I used I think I used Charger to distract. And I used the Marksman and Storm Elemental to provide DPS from back lane. And I'll give you... Right? And I'll use this... I'll use this spell here. Okay, so... Basically I want more units to really... distract them. I think this will be fine because you can see how much damage my chargers are dealing to the Green Dragon there, and then now we're all focused on Bone Dragon. So that was the right thing, because if we had been in the same lane, then both the demoralization and also the poison spit from the Green Dragon could cause issues. And we've got ourselves another gold key. All right, and now for reward 300 gems. There was a lot of gems just by playing through this chapter. How much? Where are we at now? Close. We're at 1293. I actually used all of my gems on Naga. Right, so we're at 340. So I pulled a few times, 3 times to be exact, and also did recruiting, but couldn't pull it. So that's gonna be it for this particular stream, because the focus here for this stream is just on chapter 16. In order to get to chapter 17, you need to be at level 64, and then past chapter 17, I'm expecting this to probably be probably level 68, because so far it's basically 4 levels per chapter. So that is all for today's stream. This way, I think people who are looking for chapter 16 playthrough will have a more concise video. Thank you so much for the... Okay, I know that I said I was gonna go, but let's see. I think... Did you say that there was KDC Esquire that went through the name scroll? If it is, I'll look back. That's gonna be funny. People can actually comment on the chapters. But that's gonna be it for this particular stream. I'm gonna play through and try to level up, and as soon as we do, I will go through chapter 17 and 18 as well. So that's it for today. Thank you very much, guys, and I will see you next time. Take care.